you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude.
After the biggest win and the most lucrative payday of his entire career against Canelo Alvarez, most fighters would have taken a long victory lap. They'd buy the yachts, the mansions, and enjoy a year-long celebration. But Terence "Bud" Crawford isn't like most fighters. At 38 years old, an age when many are thinking about retirement or easy paydays, Crawford is already on the hunt again, and his new target has left the boxing world completely stunned. He isn't chasing another superstar for a blockbuster payday. He's calling out a 160-pound assassin, a fighter many believe is even more skilled than Canelo ever was. It all began with what looked like a simple mistake, but no one in boxing believed it was accidental.
Y'all done slipped up, bull jobbing, and leaked some shit. Bull jiving. Listen, I was born at night, not last night. And for Terence Crawford, for you to film that by accident, just trying to show your face, and then Janibek show you trying to turn quick, brother, you blew it. Link.
Just weeks after dismantling Canelo, Terence Crawford appeared in Bogota, Colombia, attending the 2025 WBO convention. On Instagram, he filmed the event like any other celebrity, panning his camera across a massive digital screen showcasing the WBO's champions. First, a graphic of Crawford himself flashed across the screen, the undisputed super middleweight king. Then, for just a split second, the next champion appeared, the WBO and IBF middleweight title holder Janibek Alimkhanuly. Crawford quickly turned the camera away, almost as if he had shown something he wasn't supposed to.
Listen, Terence "Bud" Crawford accidentally leaked him versus Janibek. Now, we all know that Janibek has a fight coming up, I think in December against Lara. That's a hard fight. And that is going to be for unification because Lara is the WBA champion. So you got the WBO title, IBF title, and the WBA title all on the damn line. I'm pretty sure Terence "Bud" Crawford, with this leak, is looking forward to fighting the winner. And I think the WBO is leaning towards Janibek because that's their champion. It all makes sense to me. I think I got Lara winning that fight. But if he doesn't, I get it. Janibek, he's a tough cookie, undefeated, right? The southpaw. I think they both southpaws. Well, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. But Terence "Bud" Crawford in line to fight them. You know he fights once a year, all right? So he's going to let them hash it out in December, and he's going to go ahead and fight 2026. It is leaked.
The clip was strange. The cutaway was so fast, it seemed almost deliberate. Within minutes, the internet erupted. Analysts and fans asked the same question. Did Bud just leak his next move? It felt too specific, too perfectly timed to be an accident. And if that moment was the bait, the main event arrived hours later. A new video surfaced, this time unmistakably intentional. Crawford stands with his fist raised, eyes locked on the lens. A voice beside him calls out, "Hey, Janibek, we're next. December 6th, we're coming for you." Then Crawford leans in and delivers the words that confirmed everyone's suspicions.
Boxing Doctor News, hold up, boxing fans. The middleweight division just got spicy. Janibek Alimkhanuly, the IBF and WBO champ, is calling out Terence Crawford. Yeah, you heard that right. Crawford's fresh off his win against Canelo, but Janibek's not impressed. He's ready to rumble if Crawford drops to 160. But here's the tea, experts are saying this might be Crawford's toughest fight yet. Janibek's young, he's hungry, and he hits like a truck. Crawford's got options, but they're all risky.
It was a direct public call-out. The message was clear, and in the modern age of boxing, responses come fast. Janibek, a man of few words, reposted the clip to his own social media with a chilling caption, "No problem." After the call-out video spread, he posted again, this time with 2 words and an emoji, "Thank you, bro." The challenge was no longer rumor. The fuse had been lit.
Let me some Crawford, man. Y'all already know what time it is. But hey, I gotta call a spade a damn spade. Janibek ain't nothing to mess with. He cold. Yeah, southpaw, you don't know much about him. That's fine. You ain't gotta know much about him. But I'm here to tell you. Speed, power, size, your IQ, defense, offense. Dude is cold, man. Footwork, angles, shoot, power in both hands. He a killer. That's what he is. He a damn killer, man, you know? So, I mean, look, if Crawford can go down and face that dude, bro, man, Crawford's legacy. Now, it might not be no marquee name and a name that the whole world will know, but everybody will be tuning in just to see Terence Crawford's greatness because he's a mega star now.
But who exactly is the man who just caught the attention of boxing's pound-for-pound king? To casual fans, the name Janibek Alimkhanuly might not ring a bell. He's not a pay-per-view headliner. He's not a household name like Canelo or Spence. But in hardcore boxing circles, Janibek, known by his nickname Kazakh Style, is one of the most feared, most avoided men in the entire sport.
He's going for 4-time undisputed. That is diabolical. That is unheard. 3-time undisputed is ridiculous, okay, for the men. But 4-time undisputed is just damn unheard of. The closest thing to that, and I'm talking about 4-time undisputed in 4 different weight classes. The closest thing to that would have to be, I would think, Manny Pacquiao being lineal champion in 5 divisions. And lineal and undisputed is kind of the same thing. I mean, as far as undisputed is collected, lineal is the man who beat the man who beat the man. Many times, if you're undisputed, you beat the man, right? So, okay, how about this? Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez, he beat the lineal champion who happens to be undisputed. The difference is when you collect all the titles, right? Like he did at 140. When you're collecting the titles, that's a bit different because now you're not just fighting the lineal champion, but you're fighting the top guys. Terence Bud Crawford doing that is honestly more diabolical than even
an undefeated Kazakh southpaw with a terrifying record, 17 wins, no losses, and 12 brutal knockouts. He's the unified WBO and IBF middleweight champion. And he doesn't just beat opponents, he dismantles them. On boxing forums and among experts, he's described with a single word: dangerous.
160 to go 168, meaning that this guy I think he beats the winner between Lara and Janibek. And the next champion, the WBC champion, is Carlos Adames. And I think the toughest bout for Bud Crawford would be the winner between Lara and Janibek. He fights Carlos Adames. To me, I think that's an easier, no disrespect to Carlos Adames, but I think that's an easier win.
And make no mistake, Janibek isn't intimidated. He's an unbeaten champion who believes he's the one in control. He even issued a statement telling Crawford to get in line. I'll beat both Lara and Adams, take all 4 belts, then he can wait his turn. Calling out Janibek isn't a cash grab. It's not a tune-up. It's a high-risk, no-reward challenge. And it's left many wondering why Bud would chase such a dangerous, lesser-known monster. This is where the entire strategy starts to make sense. This isn't random. It's chess, 4-dimensional chess. And the date, December 6th, is the key. That's when Janibek Alimkhanuly is set to face the WBA champion Arislandi Lara in a massive unification bout. The winner will hold 3 of the 4 major middleweight titles, the WBA, WBO, and IBF.
Do you see any of those guys, maybe particularly Janibek, because he's had 3 belts, do you see him as a real threat to Terence Crawford?
Janibek is a tough guy, but he doesn't fight enough. He's not fighting enough. You gotta on those skills. I love how he fights. He's big, he's strong, he's precise. And I think he might be going to 168. So with all of that being said, hey, listen, we got some things on the table that could really pan out to be fantastic fights.
Do you think that Janibek would be Crawford's toughest fighter? Like tougher than Canelo, tougher than a few of the other guys?
I believe he honestly could be, and I think that he is big, strong, and poised. And that's when
Now, Crawford's plan becomes clear. He'll let Janibek and Lara tear each other apart, and then he'll swoop in to challenge the winner. 1 fight, 3 belts. From there, only 1 man would remain, the WBC champion Carlos Adams. Crawford's goal isn't just another belt. He wants to make history, to become the first boxer in the 4-belt era, man or woman, to be undisputed in 4 different weight classes. He's not chasing fame. He's chasing immortality.
I'm never really going to get my full respect until afterwards. Yes, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. We really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know, and the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they see.
It's a brilliant plan, but also borderline insane. And the boxing world's sharpest minds are sounding the alarm. This isn't a guaranteed win. In fact, many believe it's a trap. Renowned trainer Andre Rozier, who has worked with countless world champions, was blunt. Janibek would give Crawford one of the toughest fights of his life.
When you look at it, it's still excuses. Like I said before the fight, you know, every one of my biggest fights, I say, I'm gonna be prepared for the excuses. When you so great and you so much ahead of your competition, you know, they look at the fighters that you fight and say they nobodies because how much you beat them by, or the level of skills that you know, oppose against them. So when I fight this guy, it's all he was a nobody. When I fight this guy, all he was washed. When I fight this guy, it's an excuse, you know. So who you want me to fight? I beat this guy, it's an excuse. I beat this guy, you know, he's too young or whatever.
Think about that. A man who just dominated a legend 2 weight classes above him is now being warned that his next smaller opponent is even more dangerous. Rozier explained, Janibek's a natural 160-pounder in his prime, a sharp, powerful southpaw. That style is a nightmare for anyone. This isn't a victory lap for Crawford. It might be the riskiest move of his entire career, a true 50-50 fight against the very kind of monster everyone else avoids. So, why do it? Why risk a flawless 42-0 record and a legacy already carved in stone for a fight that offers maximum danger and minimal reward? The answer lies deep in Crawford's mindset.
Trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
You know what? He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge if you want to challenge yourself. Yeah, I don't mind.
Whenever he wins, critics move the goalposts. When he dominates, they say the opponent was overrated. Even after he dismantled Canelo, whispers spread again. Canelo was past his prime.
Last question. If Crawford was to go down there, beat Janibek, beat Carlos Adames, become an unprecedented 4-division undisputed champion, where exactly would that put him in history?
Right up there with the very best. Honestly, right up there with.
This next move is his final checkmate. This isn't about money. It's about silence, silencing every critic, every doubter. This fight would make his greatness undeniable.